and it has been an amazing year for the flowers. It's absolutely stunning. The rhododendrons have outshone themselves, but perhaps the most popular plant in the entire garden is the Embothrium, the Chilean firebush. And you can't get a very good angle from here, but if you look over there, you can see one of them. And they come originally from Chile. And if you look through the foliage there, I think you can just about make out the other one. The light's not very good this morning. These are in their ideal conditions, which is fairly mild, sheltered, in a woodland environment, nice humus-rich soil, plenty of rain. Obviously it's Cornwall. And they have grown here, I don't know how long they've been here actually, but decades. They, according to the books, they probably grow to about 5 metres, but here they do tend to grow higher and then just get overstretched, I suppose, and then they will perhaps fall over, which is what the one over there has done. It has actually become, well, it's growing at 45 degrees at the moment. They can be propagated by seed, and as you can see, there's going to be quite a lot of seed on that particular one this year. They can also be done as semi-ripe cuttings, done late summer, or middle to late summer. We're going to go down to the mist houses in a minute and just have a look at some of the seedlings from last year, which we're going to prick out and pot up. This is a flower off the Embrothrium tree we were looking at just now, and as you can see, it's closely related to the grevillea. The flowers, they're almost identical. Another plant that is a close relative is the Lomatia. Unfortunately, we don't have any flowers on this one, but this makes a small to medium-sized tree, and it's quite unusual because it has flowers that are almost identical to grevillea. And I think we have talked about this before because I took cuttings off Lomatia, so you will have seen what the flowers look like. I'm just going to put that one down a second. I've had to keep these particular seeds under this cover in here, but that's because of a slight problem we have with wildlife. So overnight we tend to leave them covered up. What I'm going to do is just take out some of these. These are the Embothrium seeds that was... I'm just going to loosen a little area and then just handling it by the seed leaves. And what we've got here, as you can see, it's got quite a nice well-balanced root system. This is... We're trying to get away obviously from using peat. This is a mixture still, I'm afraid, of peat, but with a peat alternative as well. And it seems to be okay because the seedlings we've already potted up, they're not showing any signs of stress, they haven't gone yellow or anything, so we're hoping this is going to be okay. So I'm just going to make a hole in the soil, drop that in, and you want to cover up as far as you can really, just below the seed leaves, just below that. So I'm going to firm that off. So that the soil will have closed around, and now it's always better to water them from beneath, because what does happen if you water from the top, you make the soil very damp, and then you do get, as you can probably see, you do get a problem with fungus gnats. And it's pointless really to hang a paper up here because fungus gnats are going to fly very, very low, and as you can see we do have quite a good capture rate on the, oops, that one escaped. Quite a good capture rate on these strips if actually laying quite close to the soil, because the flies are attracted by the bright yellow and they will settle onto that. I'm going to just do a couple more. I sowed them a bit late, and I also normally we would have taken them out about a month ago, but it doesn't seem to have made a lot of difference. What I haven't done, I pulled out a few of the weak bendy ones, but I haven't got as far as doing that down here. So I'm going to have a look at the whole tray and see what, we'll probably pot everything that's here up and then edit later on. So we've got another pot here filled up with the soil, and it's all quite loose. Just stick your finger in, drop that in, give it a little shake, close the soil up around the seed, and then give that a soak. And I will give it a bit of a top water initially. This is one that is 3 years old, so they're not the quickest growers. As you can see, it's now starting to shoot well from the base. You won't have flowers on this because this year, obviously, because we've had to keep cutting them back to make them bulk out. You have to keep an eye out for pests, and anything, if you see any sign of anything, check the plant, check the roots, check the pots. Obviously, look under the pots and see if there's anything lurking. Also, you will get a little bit of a problem perhaps if you have vine weevil around. You need to check for signs of that kind of damage. So that's a really good initial example. That just gives you a warning. There's an adult weevil around. You can see the little square notch. And you can get systemic pesticides to add into the soil, so there shouldn't actually be a problem with the grubs getting into these plants. Have another look, see if there's any signs of anything. Oh, there's another bit. Oops. Anything that's damaged, get rid of that. Just trim it off, not right close to the stem, but about here, and then that bit will just die back and drop off on its own. We might need to actually pinch out the leader just to make it into a more balanced plant. But there you go, eventually that will become that. And there is one other thing I'd like to show you, but I need to go next door and get it. Another way of doing Embothriums is to do it as a semi-ripe cutting. So you're talking about mid to late summer. But this is 2 years from a cutting. 1 minute, sorry. This is the second year from a cutting, and as you can see, it's shot really well. There's a lot of nice branches, but the only thing is, we took a lot of cuttings and we had a very small take, and we've tried this several times over the years, and there's a risk of us doing too much damage to the tree. It's actually much more efficient to do it with the seed. That just gives you another example of how you could try from your own tree.